religions and certain diktats that say ki this is right, this is wrong, you know.
जी.
What are your views on how do you adopt to change, and how do you adapt to new ideas, and how do we look at, and what kind of lens do we put around them to study them? Are they right, are they wrong, or that's okay, is that relative? लेकिन इसे देखें कैसे, इसे सोचें कैसे, and more importantly, how do we not be afraid of all these changes that are coming them, but accept it with joy and happiness?
That word that you use, acceptance, it's very important, and that is something that people are very they're not willing to do this thing, acceptance. Yeah, I follow the news. I'm quite up to date with what's happening in the world, what kind of policies people are talking about, what is the new law, what has been overruled, what is legal anymore, what is not illegal anymore. So I get it. And the thing is, my personal view, this is completely my personal view, is that you have to look at whether it is causing suffering or not to some section of the people. Whether it's same-sex marriage, whether it's, I don't know, I mean, so many things, so many issues that people talk about. Is it the question of marriage, the fundamental question of marriage, is it viable anymore? Is it necessary anymore? So I think you have to look at how society itself is moving forward and how the majority are feeling. And I think these are all traditions and stereotypes and bad habits that we have formed by constantly telling each other that, oh, gays and lesbians are not good, and you have to be straight. But then we all have different karmas. I have some homosexual friends, gays, lesbians, and I look at them and they're the same human being as we are, and we all have different karmas. So it is not my fault that I've been born in a different way, that my preference is in a different way. But then why should it cause me unhappiness? If my friend is his or her preference is different. So it's just it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why don't you just let him live and let live? Nobody's forcing you to become gay.
Right.
So why are you forcing a gay to become a straight? That is against his or her nature. But so many people suffer silently because they're the minorities, The majority believe this is not right and it shouldn't be allowed. So I'm, being a Buddhist, we're quite progressive.
Yes, I see.
Gee, and we try to see the reality changes, relative reality changes.
Relative reality.
Relative reality changes.
Okay.
Ultimate reality is the same, obviously.
Okay.
Like the sky is blue. That is the same. The sky was blue 2,500 years ago when Buddha was alive. The sky is still blue. The clouds formation, however, they change. The weather changes.
So that is ultimate reality.
Yeah, kind of. You can just, it's a simple analogy.
Right.
The relative reality and what people believe, what should be considered right and wrong, that changes over time. Even in some of the very conservative societies, women didn't enjoy any freedom at all. But now changes are happening. Women are enjoying more rights, which is very good. My Guruji, for example, he doesn't take any monks. He takes nuns. He started this 20 years ago. Wow. And His Holiness Gelong Rupa said that in the Himalayas, it's a much more patriarchal society than the rest of the country. So women were suffering a great deal. So he said, I'm not going to take any monks. I'm going to empower women. I'm going to take these daughters around me. And he now has what he calls the Kung Fu nuns.
Of course.
Yeah,
yes.
they're very famous.
They're very famous.
They can do electrician to plumbing to masonry to fighting.
Amazing.
Everything, to chanting to meditation. They're the most powerful people on earth.
Amazing.
And these are women. You should definitely meet them.
I would love
really.
to.
And so that's a great inspiration for us.